Where's my volume?
What up, everyone? Welcome to Ecom and Beyond Home, of the best morning show, period. And today we have the Thrifting Goomba in the house.
What's happening, fellas?
We got Picksburgh, of course.
What's up, guys?
My co-host and the most. Thank you all for being here today. First person in the house, we have Simply Dana in the house. Good morning. She gets a Bursky point. Then we have Cody Fontaine. Good morning. Sandal in the house. What up, Sandal?
You're balling after last night.
Your huge package. I put all 4 year lots, or actually 5 year lots, in one big box coming FedEx. So appreciate you. Thank you very much.
You have to mute the YouTube, Michael.
Mine is.
Appreciate you. It might be yours, Anthony.
Oh, my bad. It is me. YouTube up.
Rookie.
That's what I get for trying to give Nate a thumbs up.
See? Good morning, Myra.
So much for that thumbs up, Nate. Came back to bite me.
We got Mel in the house, California reseller. Good morning.
Good to see you.
DC Sales in the house. Good morning.
Master of the license plate.
I'm gonna have something in the video I'm doing today for D. Shout out for D. So look out for that. It's gonna be pretty awesome. Dana said, "Hey, everyone, check out a short video premiere 2:00 Eastern on her channel. So make sure click on that. Set a reminder. Show her some love."
Yep.
We got Steampunk Town in the house. Good morning.
What up?
Uncle B, man, I hope you're feeling better. Good morning, man. I see that the show's on your channel, I think, is scheduled. So that means he's back at it, hopefully. So everyone, make sure you show him some love. Hopefully he's feeling better this morning.
Yep.
Nikki T in the house. Good morning.
Hey, Nikki T. This is 1K.
What up? Yeah, Yellow Brick Road Reselling. What up? Thank you for coming in.
Appreciate you being here.
We have Kelly the Ecom on board. She was live yesterday with Victoria. What up?
What up, Kelly?
Howdy.
We got Dan M, the IT man, in the house. We got Alex, Batman on the floor. Good morning, buddy.
Morning, Alex.
What up, Alex?
We have Michelle Lathan in the house. Good morning.
Good morning, Michelle.
Oh, Michelle.
We have the one, the only LL Stash in the house. What up, buddy?
Stash, man.
Steel and sex appeal.
Larry in the chat. We have Carolina Hustler, the King of Clubs. What up, buddy?
What's up, Carolina?
That sticks, that nickname. I came up with that. King of Clubs.
Kelly and Dana, man. Big crowd. And
I think that's it from so far. If I missed you.
Myra, what's up?
What up, Myra?
Moore's in the house. Good morning, Christina.
What up, Christina?
Grimes is in the house. What up? You guys aren't subscribed to Justin yet. We're trying to help him get to 1K by the end of May. Or not 1K, 100K by the end of May. Yeah, Justin's just an itty bitty channel. We're trying to help him out.
Trying to get a 1K 100 times.
Yes,
yeah, right.
Absolutely.
Hey,
it's all about like the real estate. Instead of 10 times that, we're trying to give him the 100 times that.
You guys can share him out on social media or whatever. That'd be awesome. Just try to help him get out there to his goal.
100%. We got Best Offer Queen. She's been subbing for Uncle B.
What's up, Aaron?
I like how she tries to play off of whoever she's subbing for the Mile High Treasure Hunters.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
She does good.
Got KJ in the house. I'm stealing you know it. And I think that's it so far.
Okay.
So if I missed you, please yell at me, say something in the chat. We'd like to say hello to everyone, but happy to bring Thrifting Goomba in the house and hang out with us today and just chat and see what he's all about. And it's always good to talk to different people. You know what I mean? We love having new people, new faces to interview and everything like that because we want to know everyone in our community. And what better way than to have him on for an interview? So What up, Frank? There's the other
Morning,
guy
Cameron. Morning, Frank.
from the Mile High Treasure Hunters. What up, buddy? But
Hey, Frank has been great help giving me information on new pellet grills to look at. So you know what, guys, if you're interested, definitely talk to Frank. He's got a ton of information he's given me, and I really appreciate it. So thank you, Frank.
yeah, he cooks like basically for competitions and stuff like that for any type of barbecuing, like grilling or anything like that. So if you got a grill question, he is the man to go
I'm
to.
thinking he's probably going to have to do some of that grill when we go to Denver. I think that's a necessity, Frank. I want to taste your best, man. I'm going to come down there, and me and Nate are going to sit there, and we're going to just like throw things in our face the whole time. It's going to be awesome.
Good morning, Frank.
It should be a buffet of smoked meats.
Definitely.
That sounds like a great idea to me.
You know, you set the standard of like, you know, going to a cookout at a Steeler game or whatever, like tailgating, like it's always just about here. You know what I mean? It's pretty good. You have pretty high expectations. But if he came to the tailgate just because of his competition skill set, I mean, it's got to be the best thing smoking, literally, you know, in the parking lot. So we would definitely have to raise the bar really high for my standards of what I expect out of him. So,
yeah.
I mean,
it'd have to be a mile high is what you're saying, right?
Oh yeah, it'd have to be a mile high, and you know, even though he's a Denver fan, we won't hold that against him. We'll just, you know, we'll judge him on his barbecue skills and his grilling, and hopefully it'll be a little bit better than his taste in football teams. But we won't judge him on that.
That sounds amazing, Frank. Good morning,
Brittany.
What up, Brittany Brands in the house? You know she got them burns.
She does got them brands.
Yeah, Frank says we'll throw down for sure brisket, tri-tip, ribs, pork butt, and much, much more. Oh, I just woke up and I'm drooling already thinking about food.
How long would it take us to drive there, Nate? Can we make it for dinner? Probably not.
I'll have to look it up between questions just because, yeah, I'm hungry over here.
Yeah. Hey, good morning, Bill. Appreciate you being here.
What up, Bill?
Hey, Bill.
Welcome. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. But yeah, so we'll dive right into it with Michael here, and we'll see. Just give us a little bit of a breakdown of who you are, how long you've been doing it, just so everyone can know who you are.
So I'm Michael, Thrifting Goomba. I've been reselling. Well, let's see. June will be 3 years, but in reality, I only look at it as in 2 years because I think that first year, I didn't take it serious or anything. And to me, when I got an eBay store and I made that commitment each month, that I thought, you know, okay, you know, now I'm kind of doing more. I mean, you know, and the reason why I say that is, you know, the first about 6 months that I did this, I never stepped into a thrift store. You know, I was just selling stuff around the house, which is, you know, how most people, if they're not sure, should really get started. And then did that, got more into it in June of 2018, more and more. And then was only doing eBay up until April of last year. I branched on to Amazon and then started doing Amazon and jumped in right away. FBA, I figured again, you know, I wasn't going to wait and see. And I figured, you know what, I'm going to go FBA. I'm going to get, you know, I'm going to get, you know, the pro account, spend my $40 a month and go for it, because there's no sense in, you know, I didn't, for me personally, not saying for everybody, but for me personally, I was like, if I'm going to do it, I might as well jump in rather than trying to send in 1 or 2 items and see how it goes.
Right.
And then, you know, I do have to branch out to other, you know, platforms. I've been very bad at doing that, but it's kind of, you know, it's kind of been a great journey for me to go ahead and just come through and try different things. You know, I would say right now, my biggest thing that I'm trying to figure out is what direction I really want to try and go in, and not from a platform standpoint, but from a inventory standpoint. Do I want to be Sanford and Son where I got, a little bit of everything, or do I want to go a little more of a niche? I don't want to get so specific saying I only sell these 4 different types of things, but I do want to, I want to definitely, try and close it down a little bit so that I can, be a lot more focused when I go into a thrift store or, stuff like that, or when I go to a garage sale, and then also learn a lot more because it's, with the way the trends are and everything, it's so hard to go ahead and know a lot about everything. And in my opinion, knowing a little bit about a lot of things is great, but that could also get you in trouble in this business. If you go ahead and you jump in, you're like, this is awesome. And all of a sudden it's like, crap, that's going to sit around for a while, just because you saw a name. So that's what
Alex. It is. He says, if someone's suffering with addiction, they want help, 2 p.m. Eastern on the gram. I do a reading for 12 steps. I'll buy and ship them a free copy of the 12 steps. So I think that is really awesome. Just, helping out people and stuff like that. So, definitely check out Alex.
Oh, yeah.
Drop your Instagram, dude.
He has a similar story like I do with, battling addiction and things like that. And it is a bear, especially if you're caught in the locks of that thing. And just being able to sit here today is a blessing for me because, addiction is tough, man. So I'm glad Alex, definitely made it out and he's doing something to help others. So that is awesome. So thanks, Alex, for the super chat, and I appreciate you. And everyone, check him out if that's something that or somebody that is suffering. Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, that's myself. That's my little journey there. But I mean, I'm married. I live in Georgia now. Grew up in New York. Moved here in 1999. 3 kids. 2 graduated college. 1 is a sophomore in college. So I'm an old guy. I got the older kids and everything. So it's I do go ahead and get them to help every now and again, with stuff. But it's typically just a one man operation. I will every now and again get some help, but I like it. It's fun, and then you get to meet great people, like you guys and the people in the chat and everything. It's just it's really cool. It's a great community, great community. It's a great way to build, friendships, relationships that will, of people that will help each other and want to see people succeed rather than pushing people away and trying to stop people from succeeding. Sandella, I'm in Marietta, Georgia.
Hey, good morning, Money G. Thanks for coming in.
What up, Greg?
Oh, Alex said it's not about addiction; it's about life and business. I'm sorry, my apologies. Same stuff Gary Vee and them talk about. My apologies. There's the link if you guys would like to check that out. But yeah, I think I was somewhat similar to how you started, with me with Amazon. I kind of at first I should have probably went with the free account and kind of took it slow and did a couple things, but I kind of just jumped right in, basically with no parachute, in a way. I got the $40 account and I didn't have any inventory built up, which I would definitely recommend, going to the free account probably, unless you just have a lot of money or a lot of opportunity, or you're just I know if I go in the store and scan, I'm going to kill it. Or, a lot of clearance is going to be coming out. I mean, that might be a different scenario, but for the most part, when you go to these stores, you're scanning, you're finding stuff that is probably a decent price, but because of how Amazon gates and everything like that, you couldn't sell it, so on and so forth. So the way you did it is probably the best way, because like you said, you don't want to just kind of go crazy into something. You want to kind of just see how it goes and not put all this money and effort into it, and then next it kind of flops on you. So that's more or less how I should have did it, but I went a little crazy with it. But luckily for me, it at first it was a little slow at the beginning, just getting used to sending everything in, waiting for inventory to say on back order, and I'm like, what do you mean on back order? It's in your warehouse moving around. Like, how do you call that back order? To understanding, about all the different stuff getting put in removal, inventory to, it's there's another issue with it, so it's another category. Pricing, how their pricing system works, where it can knock you off a listing because it thinks that it's too high in price. So like for someone going from straight eBay to that, I mean, just there's so much to understand because it's like a total different universe, like because of so much involved with it. How much did it take before you really really started getting deep into like the, understanding how everything worked and really start sending a lot in to the point where you're like, okay, I should go to the $40 account, the professional account or whatever?
I went quick because I watched so many videos on it to where I felt it was the best thing to do, right away. Set up the account and stuff, and then I said, you know what, let's go ahead and let's give this a shot and go for it. And here's the funny thing. I mean, the first product that I went on the hunt for to send into Amazon, that I was going at every store and I was picking it up and I was clearing out the damn shelf, was a total failure. And it was great because it was one heck of a learning response of a learning thing, because I looked at how much I was paying it for it, what the fees were, and what the profit was. And I didn't care about anything else. Little did I know that product didn't move worth a crap.
Oh man.
But I didn't know, I didn't know. I mean, I watched and everything. And what happens is, you can watch so many videos, you can, you could pay attention as much, but until you really go out there and start scanning and looking at the information right in front of you, it really was a great learning experience. I don't mind it. It wasn't, don't get me wrong, it wasn't like I spent $600, $700, $800. I mean, it was, but it was enough that it was like, dang. And I still got them. I got them listed on eBay now. I pulled them back during that free pullback time.
That's good. At least you got to pull this back like that and get that out of your inventory.
Yeah. And like I said, the big thing is to me, it really went ahead and helped me learn to use more of the tools that are available. I went from, because I just thought, hey, I only need the seller app. What do I need anything else more for? I go, I scan, and the barcode says wow, if I pay $3 for this after fees and everything, my profit's going to be $8. Heck, I'm in. I'm just buying it. And I think that's what a lot of resellers do at first. And they see that number, man, boom, the eyes go wide open. How many can I get? How many can I get? And they don't take the time to peel that onion back a little more, do a little more research, and realize, ooh, yeah, but this only sells once every 4 months. So there's no sense in me buying, 60 of them. Because I'm going to have just a little bit hanging around.
Hey, Nate, can you highlight Grimes' latest comment?
Yeah.
He's releasing a video today at 10:30 Central, which is 11:30 our time. So right after the show, guys, if you would do me a favor, we're going to all jump over to Justin's video, show him some support.
Yeah.
11:30. So just want to make sure everyone knows about that and we can show him the support that he deserves.
100%. Also, CDL Picker Allen is coming out with content. I'm going to drop his link in the chat here. I also gave him a rent, so if he wanted to drop his link whenever he felt like, he's able to do so. And hold on a second. CDL. There you go. there's a CDL Pickers channel I just dropped in the chat as well. So definitely show him some love. He's going to be coming out with content, so that's awesome. Yeah, I'm like you. I don't like spending money on all the extra stuff, especially subscriptions. I hate subscriptions because it's like a hidden cost almost in a way, because usually with subscriptions sometimes you buy it, you might not use it all the time, or you just forget about it and it's just charging your card. And that's the one thing Amazon, that a lot of stuff, to really get all the tools or enough tools where maybe you can make some better educated purchases. And because I mean, for the most part, I didn't have anything. I always went really wide. Like I'd buy when me and Anthony first got together, I was teaching him Amazon and stuff like that. I told him, I says, I do like the buy two technique, especially at like a store where I know I can come get this again. You know what I mean? I buy two, send it in. If, one sells off the bat, then okay, this might be a good one. If it sells again before it's in stock, it's an awesome item. But then as time was going, I was coming into bigger quantities of stuff where I'm like, okay, I'm getting my bankroll right, because once you start Amazon, you have to feed it, and then your money's getting a little bit tied up into it, and then until you start getting like basically like every 2 weeks, like cha-ching's like cash flow coming in, it gets a little tough, like having the source and stuff like that. But once you feed it and get to a certain level where it's kind of like every week you're kind of get paid the same thing, it makes the things a lot easier. So with that, I'm like, man, I can really start going after some heavier items. So like with Michael talking about the Goomba, where he made a purchase, he saw just all the main stuff. He didn't look at the ranking and all the other stuff, which basically, tells you all about what you need and everything. Now I still use Keepa, and I've been on the platform for 2 years, or almost, a year and a half. And I still use that because I'd rather pay the $15 than have 100 or 200 of a product, sitting behind me, kind of like what your situation was. And like you said, it was a good learning thing.
Oh yeah.
Because now you have money tied up, which is one of the worst things you could do. But I mean, it's kind of what happens sometimes with reselling. We buy stuff, we think it's a great deal, or we think it's going to be a great product, and sometimes it just doesn't go the way we hope to. You know what I'm saying? So that was something that I had to definitely keep in my arsenal, moving forward, so I can do these bigger purchases. Like right around the beginning of the pandemic, I bought I think it was like 400 of an item. Recently, I bought like another 150 of an item that I was like a little bit worried about, because of the fact that things are a little bit inflated price wise on Amazon and some things. So like that was one thing that I used to really kind of quiet the questions in the back of my head that of self-doubt. We all get that sometimes, just buying stuff at garage sales or thrift stores. Like, should I buy this shirt for $5? Should I just buy something else? Or should I buy this new box item? You know what I'm saying? So it makes it a little bit easier with that.
Yeah, it's a different, the platforms are a different mindset, and that's the one thing you got. You cannot have the same thought process if you are looking for something for eBay than you are for Amazon.
Right.
You just can't. Now, I'm not saying, it's because you're not going to find a lot of, items that you're going to buy at a garage sale or at a store for a quarter, for 50 cents, whatever it may be, and turn around and sell it for, $30, $40 all the time, right? Like you can on an eBay. You don't find that a lot on Amazon. Not that. Right. You have to spend more money on your product, for Amazon. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's just a matter of, you just have to keep that in mind, that, like you said, you're a lot of times, you think I got to buy a whole bunch of these and I got to send it in. And then what happens is, unfortunately, when you become when you're a new seller and you jump in, you see, Amazon, right? And you see the commercials and you see the trucks going up and down your neighborhood and you're expecting, wait a minute, I just sent my stuff in. Why hasn't it sold yet? What is going on? What did I do wrong? Because you don't see it as fast, as you think you should. The perception is Amazon sells so much stuff that just because I send it in, it's going to sell. And you still have to send the right stuff in. You can't just send anything in, unless you're willing to wait very, very long. I mean, I'm sure, there's stuff on there that has a ranking, of 8 million. I mean, it has sold. It has a ranking.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows what year it sold, but it sold.
Yeah, definitely. The ranking systems are so important, especially if you're going deep, which, when anybody's first starting out, I would very, very rarely, I would say, for anyone to go deep. Always go wide, because then, your margin for error, if you do buy something, isn't going to cripple you. You know what I mean? Especially if you're just starting out reselling in general and, you're kind of new to the whole reselling thing together. You're kind of running on, lower amounts of money and stuff like that, where if you have $200 tied up in one product, I mean, that could sink you. You know what I mean? There's some people that, $200 is, most of their flip money that you're generating, because they're used to going to garage sales and things like that. I know me and Anthony all talked about this. But go to garage sales and spend $200, you might have a whole truckload full of stuff. You know what I mean? Because of all the stuff you're picking for 50 cents, $1, $2. I'll buy all this for $5. And then, all this other stuff that you're getting at RA, at other places online, et cetera, $200 goes quick. So, it's just very important to, have your info and go forward, so that's my tip for most people when they first start. Just go wide, unless you have someone that's a seasoned person that you can really trust and give them that information. Like, hey, what do you think about this? Or can you give me Keepa information about this if you don't have it? I don't mind doing that for anybody, but of course you have to kind of share, some information, which I can understand some people being close to the chest, because I have to be as well with, some of the stuff I do, but I don't mind helping anybody out with especially on Amazon or eBay, of course. So, but yeah, I mean, that's the main thing, just getting comfortable with it, getting used to all the functions. And now, like, Merch Fulfill has blown up.
Yeah.
Have you dabbled in that at all?
I have. I have found some products that were worth it to Merch Fulfill, and the fun. And the bad thing I had is that I just couldn't get enough of them. I mean, I literally have scoured. Like, I had one where I thought it was going to be good. I took a chance I took a chance just because of, as I like to call it, the cerveza pathogen that we are in, that I knew it could sell. I didn't know, but I took a chance. I bought 24 of an item, and the first night I sold 23 within listing them.
That's awesome, man.
And I was like, oh my gosh. The next day, I could not find one anywhere. I couldn't even find it available online to pick up in store or anything. And I was like, gosh darn it. And the thing is again, it wasn't something that I was making a ton of money on, but I was, after I sold after I sold 3, I had everything else after that, was profit, because it wasn't a big selling item. It didn't have a high, cost. It didn't have a high sales dollars, but I was able to go ahead and buy 24, sell 3, and those 3, the profit I made pay for the entire 24. So I made, good money off of them.
Nice.
But, I was like, okay, I'll go here. No, I'll go. I mean, I even went to stores that, that I didn't go to before, but I couldn't find it, and I was bummed out. But it's Merch Fulfill is it's cool. It's interesting. I like it. I think in today's day and age, what I think it's going to be interesting as Amazon opens up more and the FBA, the stuff that you order from Amazon itself that ships by Amazon, how that calendar time frame shortens, how much that will affect, the FBM aspect of it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But I think it has to. But we'll see. I mean, I think it's very interesting. I mean, and it made. I think the one thing that a lot of people looked at, it made Amazon a lot like eBay.
Yeah, it kind of
put an eBay aspect to Amazon.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Because now you're looking at sellers and their handling times and
right,
where they're located. So this way, hey, if I'm in Pennsylvania shipping to somebody in Pennsylvania, and I ship same day or whatever my handling was, which I believe I changed most of my listings to 1 day handling, which I usually send everything out the same day. But so I get a little advantage there where people kind of don't mess with that. They're seeing my timeline is, I can get it I think it only changes by 1 day, but that 1 day could be the difference between my product sitting and my product, going out the door 20, 30 times a day. So I always make sure to change my handling right on the listing for each item. If you go to your edit and then go to your item details, handling will be right there. And I think they have on there 5 days from a default standpoint, which if you look at that window, 5 days, okay, say 5 days from today is like the 13th through like, let's say the 19th, because usually they do like a 5 to 10 day window. And then you have FBA. That's why like a lot of times I think FBA gets, a big push, but FBA also gets the buy box more easily, even with more money. You know what I mean? And that's my kind of thing, like with FBA, like, and what I've kind of been looking at recently. This is part of the reason why I called off today too. I want to get FBA really back up and rolling because I don't mind shipping, but now it's starting to become an advantage for other people being an FBA where I was the
pack an order with you.
Yeah, like literally
all that stuff still just piled here. I can barely walk over to my desk.
Yeah, I got a whole large box over there of stuff. I got stuff all over my shelves that can get sent in. It's just stuff I've been kind of, I don't want to say hoarding, but I've been just waiting my time because like they say, it's either your first or last. It's like the Ricky Bobby of reselling with Amazon. You know what I mean? So what is your take on that? Like, you tend to be more first, or you being last, or you just kind of send it in and hope for the best? What's more or less your strategy with like Walmart clearance?
So where I am, there are a good number of full-time resellers. I'm part-time because I have a regular, Monday through Friday job and everything. And I have and the reason that it's difficult for me is because of that time, right? So there's a lot of times where I can get stuff, but when it comes to Amazon, obviously the more you can send in at one time, the better off you are. Because if you send, and whatever, a 12 by 10 by 12 box in, they're going to charge you, $6 or $7, and what are you going to fit in it, right? But you go ahead and you take, a 12 by 16 by 12 box, you may pay $2 more, but man, you go ahead and get so much more stuff in there. So now your cost of shipping, per item becomes a lot less. My problem is with me, where I have a bunch of issues, is that just getting a large enough quantity at one time. And I think D went ahead and DC sells is do I travel for RA and stuff, and I do, I try, but it's tough, and it's even harder now with the Walmart's reduced hours.
Yeah,
because I can't leave at 12 o'clock in the afternoon on a Tuesday because the Walmarts here, they're closing at 8:30. So it's hard to get out early enough. So it's been a time adjust of trying to figure out okay, now rather than going to 3 Walmarts in a night, I could really only go to 1 if I go out, because by the time I go do what I got to do, it's hard to get to a second one before they close.
Right.
From that standpoint, but I try. But I usually have to wait. So a lot of times I'm more towards the end, but that's more out of just because of how my ability is to source rather than that and a normal business strategy. You know what I'm saying? From that standpoint,
Right.
you know, but I don't mind being, I don't mind being first. I don't mind being last. To me, the way I look at, I am more about holding tight on pricing, because that's one part that, drives me, nuts when you look at things is, how, I don't mind, making a few dollars and everything, but there are some things when you look at like the seller app and you're like, you're losing money. Like, you're selling it for, not it sells for $9. The fees are $7.
Yeah. How are you making any money?
How are you making any money? Like, what can you possibly be buying this for? I mean, unless you're getting it for free. And that's the thing that gets me, is it's more, the new seller part, the race to the bottom, it is the part that drives me crazy. So, rather than being first or last or something, I will use some of the tools to see what the inventory numbers look like.
Yeah.
And I'll let that decide, where I'm going, what I'm going to do with my pricing. If I see that if it's a quick moving item and there's 4 or 5 sellers ahead of me and they all have a little bit of an inventory, a couple, 3, I usually will not go ahead and move my price if I think it should sell for here. This is what I need to sell this price for right here. I'm not going to, I may go down a little bit, but I'm not coming down, too much, and I'll just wait. I will, I'll wait for everybody else to sell out, and then I'll get the buy box, and then all mine will sell, and I'll be happy.
Yeah. Like, as soon as I'm sending an item in and it gets added to my Aura repricer I use, I set my minimum max. My minimum is 100% return on investment, where, spend $1, make $1. And the other one, it depends on what the item is. If it's say a $20 item that at that 100%, then I'll maybe just add an extra $5 to the back end. You know what I mean? Because if you go too crazy high, then the high prices will catch up with that stupid bot that they have that will say, "Oh, we think this is a pricing error," but really, you're the cheapest in the buy box still, and then they knock you off for it. But
it's funny you say that. I had that happen. It happened a couple weeks ago. I had picked up, I finally relisted it, but at Christmas time, how you have like those the Old Spice, like gift boxes, where you get 3 things of Old Spice, all different, that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
So I had that, and I was the lowest priced, but I mean like not lowest by $1, like lowest by like $10. And I kept getting high price alerts, but there's other people on the listing that are higher than me. And I'm thinking, what do you want? I mean, it's like your pricing is way too high. You should be a lot lower. And I'm like, wow, where do you want me to go? It already has free shipping. It's going to go priority.
Right.
I paid, not that I paid a ton, I paid like $6 for it. What do you want me to sell it for? I mean, it's going to cost about $8, $9 to ship, plus your fees on top of that. No, I'm not going ahead and lowering my price. I'm sorry. I mean, it's like ridiculous sometimes.
I've had items that, literally I'd have been lowest in the buy box by say 20 cents or 15 cents or whatever. And I look and I'm kicked out because of high price. So I actually had to call Amazon, which I know now it's a little harder to do. You have to basically like send an email or something, and then they'll get back to you or call back or something. But if you call them and tell them, hey, this item is keep getting the boot, and I'm the cheapest, they will try and go in and have the bot kind of understand, like, hey, chill out. This is a good item. Price is good. Everything like that. Yeah. So I try to, every time it keeps booting it, I always just keep refreshing it. Keep just changing the price for my min max on that, which I don't know why it needs a min max, but you know, they just want to make sure you have like, this is your basically the highest you're going to sell it for, the lowest or whatever. So this way they'll kind of try and like, I guess, guide the pricing bot to understand that this is okay. And, you know what I mean? And they'll be like, well, it takes 24 to 48 hours for this to maybe kick in. If you still have problems coming back. I've had a number of products that had issues. I've heard a lot of people say that they actually had to get the items sent back in. You know, you had to send it to yourself, send it back, you know, recall it, and then send it back in sometimes just to get it over with. But I mean, I have one item that's an oversized item. You can only send oversized items with other oversized items unless, you know, it mixes them up, which that drives me crazy.
Yeah.
I'll buy some oversized items from time to time. And, you know, I'll buy a couple or usually send a couple at a time because they are big. They take up a lot of space. But, you know, if you have, say, 5 items total, sometimes they'll make you put 2 in one warehouse, 1 in one warehouse, and 2 in the other one. And it's like,
do that.
Why don't you just have me put it all in one box and go to one happy place? You know,
I mean, no one to go other places. You send it like on your trucks to different places. You know, what I mean? Like, and the whole having to put an oversized item with only oversized items, like you're killing me, man. Like, just take my stuff and sort it however you please.
Well, I mean, I can understand that from a logistics warehousing perspective. Like the bigger items need to have bigger slots and all that stuff, and they have so many items come into these warehouses that they need bigger places for them. I can understand that, but you know, like I said, like if I had say 500 items going into an order, and they split it up into 2, like one going to Pennsylvania where most of my stuff goes, the other one going to Ohio or New York or New Jersey or whatever it usually goes to. Like they try to send other stuff to. Then they'll have one go to Wisconsin for whatever reason. So I'm like, okay, cool. Maybe I'll look and see what the shipping cost is, and depending on what profits in that box, either I'll just keep it and just save it for my next trip, or you know, sometimes I will send that smaller one of 10 items to Wisconsin, even though I sent 200 here, 200 here, or 400 here, 100 here, or whatever. You know, I'll move them around. So I wish they got a little bit better with that, but I mean, from a you know standpoint of just, you know, like I said, like the warehouse situation, like they have a warehouse specifically set up to handle like these bigger packages, bigger items.
Yeah,
being able to package them and everything else too. I guess I can dig it, but man, like that's a pain for me having to pull that back where it cost me, say, even though it's 50 cents, it's 50 cents profit that I just gave up on. And then I'm sending it back in, which oversizes you're probably at least you know, minimum say of $10 probably, because it's, you know, you're using a bigger box or whatever, and the weight probably won't match up. So, you know, kind of be on the lighter side probably for most people, depending on what you're sending, of course. But yeah, man, like the only good thing about it is your rate on oversized stuff is less than if you got the same amount of cubic foot of something else and compared it. It's cheaper than that. So I mean, that is one positive about oversized is, you know, that one item, just because it's big, isn't going to cost you a whole ton of money to keep in there. You know what I mean? You're able to keep a couple in there, and it won't literally destroy you, because I know for a fact that I'm sure you've seen this a few times. You know, you get to fourth quarter, and those prices for storage balloon to like $2-3 a square foot or cubic foot. And you know, my storage is usually say like 40 to 50, you know, or whatever, something around there, cubic feet inventory. And I mean, you add $2-3 times that, I mean, that's the $150 storage bill.
Yeah.
So, I mean, compared to like say a $30 bill or $20 bill, which is, you know, if you're doing any type of volume, that's nothing.
And those are the ones you don't realize that you get. Those are the ones that you don't see, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh crap, you know, because that's one of those things. Like, how do you that's one that's it's tough to go ahead and take that into consideration when you're sending stuff in,
Right?
You know, because again, you know, and it's still even crazy, even with the way the numbers look. You know, you expect something that you send in, you're like, man, this is great. It's, you know, it's a toy, and you know, and it's ranked, you know, 35,000. My gosh, that toy should move and you send it in and you're sitting there and you're going, come on, it's been 2 months. It should have been sold by, I mean, at least one of them should have sold by now.
Yeah, for sure.
That's, it's, I don't know, it's frustrating at times, but I mean, it's one of those things where at some point in time, you just look back and you say, and you go, you know what, it is what it is. I'm going to send my stuff in. My stuff is going to sell. And, you take the potential aggravation of dealing with all those many more customers and shipping everything yourself. If you could take that away, sometimes paying the extra money is definitely, worth it.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. So my question for you, I know you said you do eBay and Amazon. One of the questions that we've been kind of asking lately is kind of what's your ratio? Like what percentage would you say of your business is like done on Amazon? What percentage would you say you do on eBay?
I would say I am probably almost 50-50 or 60-40, in 55-45 in that range. A little more on eBay would be the bigger one. But it's weird in how, for me, it all depends on if I have the ability to go out and get product. If I can go get a bunch of product and everything, my Amazon, for a month or two will, shoot up, and I'll be at, 70-30, right? But then all of a sudden, I have a hard time and it shifts, it shifts the other way.
Mm-hmm.
But that's really, I try and it's tough to give more attention to one versus the other, and for me, because I do both. I mean, if you would, obviously, if you were like, look, I just dabble on it, but to me, making the effort to do, both, to try and do as much as possible on both. Don't neglect.
So
one or the other.
Yeah.
Dang, you're doing it on eBay lately, bro.
eBay's been rocking, man. Like he said, like he has like a 50-50. I wish I could get it there. Like I'm so like,
dude, you can though, man. Like
I'm so focused. Like when I get into like this FBA mode, like it's just like, and I show my numbers all the time. Like, I had 2,500 in a day merch fulfill, which was amazing, crazy amount of packing, to like, the daily grind of FBA, 15K a month, 20K a month, 10K a month, 8K a month. It could vary just by overall, just what I'm doing. And like with everything how it was, I kind of hit the brakes on like sourcing for the most part. I went more towards the eBay side because one, I wanted to get some fresh inventory because I felt like there was definitely some great opportunities, with just, different areas of used goods and things like that would move pretty good because of some of the market running up of, drying up and some stuff. Some people were trying to be a little more thriftier, spending money. So like it's either one or the other. Like if I pull that brake on Amazon just a little bit and I just throttle it with eBay, the whole tractor trailer just starts doing a tailspin and it just starts going crazy. So I need to figure out a way, and maybe there's not a way to this, but I definitely want to spend or try to spend like so much time per day on each one, making sure I'm feeding eBay, listings, but making sure I'm paying attention to Amazon. Well, like doing some online sourcing, which I stay up until, like we were talking before the show, I was up till 7 a.m, took a little nap before the show, and here I am. So like I was doing that. I was on, a bunch of sites and just really just, scouring the internet, looking for ways to be able to make some bulk buys. Cause I've made some amazing buys of just some miscellaneous stuff. Like I'll give you an example. I bought thermal bottoms, like the long johns or whatever they call them.
Yeah.
They had Russell Athletic ones on Walmart.com back in September of last year. They had them for brand new, of course. There was no competition, of course, because it's September, so I couldn't really judge it, but I was able to pull Keepa data and I saw that they sold really well in there for clothing and everything else, like what their average sell per month and everything else. So I went and I was like, okay, I'm just going to grab some because it's Russell Athletic. I don't know how that's going to do. We'll just give it a try. I never really sold clothes on Amazon. So I bought 40 of them for $1 a piece. $1 a piece. I sold them anywhere from $24.99 on Amazon down to, I think, towards the end, I was just trying to get them going. I think at the low point, I think was $14.99, but it was a good mixture of all price things. But for $1 a piece, I think shipping and fees was like $4 or something, $5 maybe most. So even at $14.99, you got to take $1 off. I'm making $8 or roughly. That's just a good guesstimation, guys. Just so you guys know, of $8 profit from $1, and then the ones that were selling first for $24.99. I mean, that's huge money. So just like that's one example. I bought, and they had these like like if you touch like the material one way, it goes a different color, and another one I can't remember what it's called, but some type of like beading or something like
oh yeah,
like it has that like look like it's like brushed or whatever when you touch it. I had a blanket. It was like a mermaid color blanket, and it was $5 on Walmart. I took that and I sold them for $35 on Amazon, and I bought 25 of them because that's all I could grab because they limit you to, I think it was 5 or something like that. So I put 5 orders in, and I was like, all right, I'm done. Because usually if you do too many like that, they'll just cut them off anyway. So I didn't want to have a bunch of money tied in. But yeah, I mean, I'll find deals like that in the middle of the night where I don't know if Walmart made a mistake listing or whatever, but I pounce on those things. And
yeah,
one of those things where I have no idea about clothing, especially on Amazon, because I've never done it. Like I understood kind of the ranking system and stuff, because especially now with Keepa, it tells you like where it ranks in the subcategory it's in, like how high of it is in, say like winter bottoms or whatever the case is, and you can kind of figure out where it lies. So I was able to do a good buy there, that's for sure.
What's your favorite way to source? Like, I know your name is the Thrifting Goomba, and I know we've talked a lot about RA. So I'm just curious, like, what's your favorite way to get inventory, whether it's for eBay, Amazon, or whatever?
I may go out to the store person. I mean, I've tried the wholesale stuff, and I have done some wholesale, just buying online and everything. But for me, I haven't been able to buy enough to drive the price down enough to make a good profit reselling it. Right? There's like a lot of stuff that that I got through wholesalers. That, I mean, quite honestly, I bought what I could to go ahead and get ungated on Amazon, and still send them in, but not being able to make a lot of profit. I still like going out to the stores and getting stuff that way. Whether, I mean, obviously a different mindset, a thrift store. I mean, obviously there are certain things, that you can get at a thrift store that you can do on Amazon as used. I mean, VCR, DVD combos, and, even, CDs, if you can get ungated in CDs, and, there are a number of categories, that you can do that with. So, but that's really, I mean, that's really my mindset. I still like going out. I mean, I don't mind buying it off of, OA and stuff. But I just prefer to go out. That's just me.
Yeah.
From that standpoint, the thrill of the hunt is awesome. But I think, the time that it takes, a lot of time is very tough, especially when you have a regular, full-time job also, and you're trying to, build this up, right? To do whatever that might be, whether it's to, make enough money to, buy a new car and use that to pay it off, whether it's to help you get more money in retirement or whether it's become full-time, whatever it is, but that's the tough part, for me. And that's why, I rather go out to the stores just because it's the getaway time also, because, it's getting out and, well, it's hard to socialize now, but at least it is getting out and doing some socializing.
Right. Now, I use BrickSeek. Do you use anything like that to kind of help figure out maybe? I mean, BrickSeek isn't guaranteed, that's for sure, but it kind of gives me a good, percentage chance it should be there, or what's going on sale. Do you use that, or even the free version or paid version, to kind of help you?
Knowing that I was going to be here today, and I wanted to go ahead and surprise Anthony.
Wow.
Because I found out that a couple of my Walmarts, like obviously where I am, I'm northwest of Atlanta. I mean, and within a 10-mile radius of my house, I have, I don't know, probably 8 Walmarts or so. And if I expand that to like 25 miles, that number goes from 8 to probably, 25. Yeah. I mean, it's almost like gas stations, like on almost every corner here. So I was using BrickSeek, and there was 2 stores that are about 10, 11 miles from me that was supposed to have more than 6 of the Mosaic basketball cards.
Oh, man.
They were supposed to have the blaster pack and the small pack. They were supposed to have more than 6 of each one of those. I said, man, this is going to be awesome. I'm going. I looked at the time. I'm like, they're getting ready to open. I'm heading there. I'm going to wait. And I'm going to surprise Anthony. I'm going to pick up a big stack and going to do this. So this is what I found right here. Nothing. I was like, you got to be kidding me. I searched those stores from one corner to the other corner. I couldn't find them. I mean, I like, BrickSeek, and BrickSeek is cool. It's a great tool and everything, but you have to take it with a grain of salt. And don't get me wrong, it's not BrickSeek's fault. I mean, you look at what they're doing, right? They're basing, they got their programs that are logging on to websites and trying to grab information and hoping that everything matches up. And, and I worked for 25 years in retail. Before I'm at the company I'm at now. So I understand what the whole thing is about, having inventory numbers that are right. I mean, I had high hopes. I was like, this is going to be so freaking cool. It's going to be awesome.
The funny part is Rev probably came and snatched him up.
He probably did, because he's not that far away.
Yeah, I was gonna say he probably drove and been to all the ones in Georgia, Florida. I mean, he's putting on probably some heavy miles in that car, hunting. Nicky T thinks he's going to the corner store or whatever to get a gallon of milk. Next thing you know, 300 miles later, he went and searched the whole outside border of.
Rev comes back. He needs a haircut. But I went to so our Goodwill's finally reopened, and I went to the one by me. It's about a mile from my house, and I bought a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, nice. I bought 80. I was using Buffalo Pickers Help. So as soon as I said I'm using Buffalo Pickers Help, if you know what Buffalo Pickers specializes in, you know what I got help with.
Barbies.
So I go walking in, and I'm searching, I'm looking, and the electronics stunk except for one, and I got to show you one. I think you guys are going to like this one. But I go down the toy aisle, and I'm looking, and I see out of the corner of my eye what seems to be a small Barbie in a bag. And there's a whole bunch of other stuff on top of it. So I removed those other bags, and I have to double count. I think the number is about 85 to 90. New in original packaging, Happy Meal Barbies from 1990, 91, and 92.
Nice.
So as soon as I see them, I'm on with Buffalo Picker, and I'm going, come on, please answer, please answer, because I'm not sure of the year and everything like that. And as soon as I told Tommy the years, he's like, snatch them up, get as many as you can. So I grabbed all of them. You know the big blue IKEA bags?
Yeah.
Okay. I have one of those. I walked out with two of those, but one of those bags is just with those Barbies.
Nice.
I think I got about 90 of them or so, and I got them for like 79 cents a piece, which was great and everything. But I also found this thing here. This is gonna stink. You can't see it. Maybe you can a little bit, right? Looks like a plain old ordinary toaster, except one thing.
Oh yeah.
Now, wait a minute. That's the cool part. That's really cool. But
I think I know the second part.
When you make the toast,
yeah,
that's awesome.
I need to have that.
I was like, man, I got to get that. I don't know how much it's worth. I don't really care. With football season starting up, there's going to be somebody who's going to like that. I'm like, bam.
Yeah, there's like two of them right here. The only problem is my kitchen's only allowed to have Mickey Mouse toasters.
That might be the one time you might have to pull the trump card and be like, hey, we're putting this. I will not have Mickey Mouse toast anymore. You want
to know where that Steeler toaster will end up? Sitting down here.
Yeah.
Well, at least you can
take it to the basement and make it.
At least you can have toast before the show and in style. You know what I mean? That's the way I look at it.
But it's but getting back to what you're saying, I thought, I brick seek, I like it. I always, I'll use it, I take it with a grain, but because I have so many stores by me, it really helps me to, if I want to go find something, knowing where at least not to go either bother going at all, right? Because 4 stores have it at the sale price, but 6 stores have it at the full price. There's no sense in me, even bother going to those stores and everything. And then to map out. So I do go ahead and use it. It is a helpful tool, but I take it, my expectations are, if it's there, that's awesome.
Right.
If it happens to not be there, well, then I'm going to go find something else. And I think that's the piece about it. That's one thing, we talked about, with Amazon, and you're saying, widespread, try not to go ahead. And that's just it. It's, way I look at it for the most part is this. It's, in reality, when you get into a store, if you're trying to get your inventory and stuff, if you're already there, take the time, scan, because at the end of the day, scanning really doesn't cost anything, but it could go ahead and really make your day if you all of a sudden find something that you're not thinking of.
Oh yeah.
And it's so easy to go, oh, I'm a new seller, I can't sell anything, this is why I should quit and everything. It's like, well, no, there's always something you can go ahead and sell, on any platform. You just have to be willing to find it.
Yeah, for sure.
There was a Ninja Turtle vehicle that I was picking up at Walmart's, around here, and I could have made a little bit of money on Amazon. Like I think the price was, $40 or whatever, and I haven't done any FBA. So as I was waiting to send it in the FBA or whatever, I actually had it on eBay in Macquarie. And they was both sold, I believe, on eBay, for $50 plus shipping. So I made a quick, nice little flip and a little profit, just picking up something already at eBay, and it went out pretty quick. So, I was pretty happy about that. And like I said, it was like one of them situations, like you said, just because I didn't, sell on Amazon yet or send it in, put it on other platforms, see what you can get for it, because this market right now is so awesome right now for us resellers. We could pick up just about anything clearance for the most part. Now, don't hold me this, but just about anything clearance for the most part, guys. And do pretty well. I mean, stuff sells pretty quick. Merchant Fill, Amazon, FBA or eBay or Macquarie. It's rocking and rolling.
Yeah, you take you make a good point there. I guarantee you there's a lot of people who, sell on the multiple platforms. They'll sell on, Mercari, eBay, Amazon, and everything. And I'll bet you there are a lot of people who didn't think of checking to see if they could sell stuff on Amazon when they're trying to do like their cross listing. Yeah, obviously you can't on everything, but there's a lot of stuff that you can. Like if you have that video game, most sellers, you can sell used video games. So if you're going to sell it used anyway on eBay, and people will put it on Mercari, but a lot of people won't think about going ahead and put it on Amazon because they just think, nope, I can't do it. And it was funny, my son gave me a bunch of games that he was not playing anymore. And he said, hey, if you want to sell these, go right ahead. And the funny thing is I went to Amazon first to see, what the used game would go for before I looked at, eBay and everything. But right. I have them listed on both right now.
Yeah.
Because it pays.
I couldn't believe what I got for a couple games on there recently. So, because, I was talking to somebody and I bought that Rock Band, that I made that video on. I bought it for $60, sold it for $200, just the Rock Band and all the Rock Band related stuff. And then I had controllers, I had, games, and, some of it I thought was good, some of it not as good. And, some stuff, was actually selling for really good money on Amazon used. And I think out of all the games, I think I listed 5, 3 of them sold. And I think they're either 25 and up on used games that were complete. I mean, that's amazing compared to what they were going for on eBay. And as long as you're, you put all your details in, make sure that like if it doesn't have the manual, you put on there, no manual. Make sure the disc is in pretty decent shape, not too crazy. Where it's like, man, like, is this going to play? Because you're just going to get some bad feedback. So make sure that, if it is missing something or if there's a little issue with the case or whatever, just put it out there. This way you're covered, and this, you can tell the seller, like, hey, you knew what this was going to be. I told you right here, even though they might not read it, they kind of see it sometimes, I think, I don't know. But, they're able to kind of decipher, okay, this is complete. Like my discs were beautiful. So I was like, good condition, complete, great disc, great looking disc, sent them out, no problem. Had good sales on them. So I made even more money on that lot than I thought I was, even after the big stuff sold and I made that quick profit. And that's awesome, man. I mean, anytime I can, instead of making, say, like, just to say $5 a game on, the remaining games or whatever, I was able to turn 2 or 3, like I think it was 3 of those games into almost $100 in sales. I mean, that's amazing. That's amazing. Oh, yeah. I still have it too.
It's really good. And I'll tell you the other thing I noticed is that I'm selling more new stuff on eBay than I was, in the past, in the past 6 months. I've sold more new items compared to, used items on eBay over the last, 5 months for sure, maybe, a little bit longer and everything, which has been, which is cool, because then you don't mind going out and finding that one item and you don't mind buying it and going, okay, hey, one item, I can turn that quicker right now on eBay rather than, hey, I know I can send that into Amazon, but I have to hold it for a little bit, from that standpoint.
Yeah. Ken made a good point here. He said the best purchase he's made is the disc repair / cleaning machine.
That was what I was going to say too. Like, that's probably my next big purchase for the business, because at garage sales, there's tons of times that you walk past like a grilled game and it's like, there it is, a Zelda or, something that's big money. And it's like, oh man, no wonder it's still here.
Yeah.
So by having that machine, you're basically almost like printing money. In a way.
You can then buy big lots of like loose discs that are like all jacked up. Like back in the day when I used to list for a buddy of mine, that was kind of like his business model. He would go and get like all of the video games that were like loose disc that were damaged and stuff. We'd run them through his JMJ Easy Pro or whatever it was called, and relist them. Where they work and make tons of cash off of it.
Well, I mean, you think about it also. I mean, it takes even a disc that only has a little bit of it can take it from good condition to very good condition, and that could be worth a few more dollars. And like you said, I think it gives you, if you have something like that, what I think, Anthony, it takes away your fear of buying something more in bulk.
Oh yeah,
because you know that you can bring it home and you can actually clean them up, so you're willing to go ahead and say, hey, I'll buy the big lot because I know I can go home and clean up those guys up and I'll make money.
Yeah, for sure.
He says, I have so many games and movies given to me due to being scratched. I mean, just given to him. The thing is too, like we always talk about things that save us time and help us make money. That is one thing it definitely does, because you can go to basically a garage sale and just grab the whole pile.
Yeah.
I mean, you might want to look in to make sure the discs are in there, but grab the whole pile of basically all those cases and say, how much for all this? Not look at them other than that and go, okay. And just, now you're moving to the next store instead of pulling them out, like, really giving it a once over, making sure you see it in the light and, make sure it's worth your time or your money and, to put into it. Now you could just grip them on go, and doing that, buying bulk. We always talk about getting things in good lots and good pricing. Buying in bulk's how you do it, especially the garage sale. I mean, you're getting, chances are you're probably getting if you buy 20 games, you're probably getting 5 for free just because you bought a lot. You know what I mean? So now that you have all those games that for sure should sell, or at least, now they'll definitely be in good condition. But that is something, man, me and Anthony might need to go halfers on or something, man. Because
and if you guys are so close and everything, I mean, it makes sense. Like what I want to do also to help gain more of that stuff. I want to do the exact same thing. I've been talking about that also is try and talk to some estate people that run estate sales, and get to the point to where hey, what are you going to do with all those CDs and movies that that nobody's buying from you? What do and at the end of the day, walk in, know you have friends, it ends at 4:00 on Sunday, stroll in at 3:30, hang around a little bit, and the person, say, okay, look, you have all those CDs and DVDs. What are we going to do here to go ahead and get them out? And again, like you saying, you get the bulk, and that's where you're going to get your best deal, because if you can, at the end of the day, if you could get them for a quarter, 50 cents, you throw them in the machine, you clean them up, you throw them on eBay for $9.99. Even if you charge medium mail shipping, so you're going to be or whatever, you're gonna do okay.
Yeah.
I look at I'm more of an ROI person than I am of I have to make X number of dollars on every single thing. Like I won't list anything if it's not $25 or more. That's great, and if you could do that, that is awesome. Go right ahead, take that one. That is beautiful. But I don't find those products on a regular basis. Right. I find a lot of the products that are going to sell for 10, 12, 15 bucks. So I buy what I can, rather than walking away. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to buy something just to buy it, but I'm going to base it off of what is my real ROI here, because I know it's easy to go ahead and want to buy the higher priced items, but you got to be able to find them to go ahead and do it. From my standpoint, so that's one of the things that I like to do, and I think getting a CD cleaner or a disc cleaner will help.
Oh yeah,
being able to go ahead and get more bulk product.
Another thing too is when you're doing your pictures and things on eBay, in the description or the condition part, you could basically say after you clean the desk that this desk is spotless. It's brand new. I mean, it's not brand new, but the condition is immaculate. A beautiful condition. So this way, you have an advantage versus seller and he's selling his for the same price or whatever. So now you have an advantage.
He definitely buy I mean, that's
seller could be the next big Doody Brown seller. All we know.
Probably a rambling man.
That guy's usually the
definitely
guy for going to race to the bottom too.
Yeah, I like the way that you kind of think. Like with Amazon, I look at ROI. My thing is 100% or more. You know what I mean? Do I make less than that sometimes? Yeah, because after it sits for a while, I will have to basically do my own kind of clearance type thing. So, but that rarely happens. It's usually like on one or two items, mostly I just want to get it out of there. Like especially during this pandemic and stuff like that, I've had a couple items that literally was like one of my first things that I bought from like Dollar Tree that I sent in, and it just sat and sat and sat. So I got it out of there, broke even. Great. I just want my money back. Give my buck back. I'll buy another product with it, and that's the main thing. I just want my sometimes it's better just to pull your investment back and get it back than have it, basically get dwindled away every month for the next 12 months or whatever. And then you get hit with those high fees or having to pull it back for 50 cents, so it's more like a cost saving maneuver.
Yeah.
But it's rare that happens. I mean, if you look at all these stores at Walmart and, Walmart's and Lowe's and everything else, they sell stuff at the clearance. They're losing money. So at least I break even on some of my stuff. But Myra asked, are we going to schedule a new meetup? I'm sure once we kind of see some clarity of what, the nation is seeing as a whole and how everyone's states clear up, I'm sure at some point we'll have something. But
I'm thinking probably 2021, just to be on the safe side rather than playing it out and having to completely move it again.
Yeah, that hurt. Like we put a lot of effort into trying to plan something great, and a lot of people were ready to drop money on hotels and really like for me, I was ready to take a week off or most of the week off. So luckily I was able to pull that back where I wasn't stuck having a whole week just kind of in sadness, not being able to meet everyone. But we'll definitely have a reseller meetup at one point. But to name it now or to give a date now, it's just too soon. We want to make sure that there's no chance of anyone contracting the disease, and there's some people that have major health issues as well. So we don't want to make sure that they are basically forced to not come because of underlying health issues or anything. So, but we will definitely, I can guarantee you, at some point we will definitely have one. Hopefully soon. And Nikki T says, and there it is, the first reference of Duty Brown.
Yep.
It was around the 113 mark, I think.
But Sonny makes a good point when he says, not every customer goes for the bottom price, which is where I believe, the condition, the photos, descriptions, play a part. And he's true. And I think now, look, as states start to open, there's still going to be a lot of people who are going to have, issues going out and jumping right back in. So, I mean, I think, the online stuff will come down. I think there's still going to be a very large population that is going to stick to shopping the way they have been shopping. And the thing is a lot of times, in my opinion, this has gone on long enough to where people's habits have changed. I mean, I've had friends who said, you know what, I used to grocery shop at Walmart, but I've been using, the call ahead and let them pick it and pull up and drop it. And she's like, you know what, there's no need for me to ever go grocery shopping in Walmart again. I'm just going to do this the exact same way forever. I go, they tell me when to pick it up. I don't walk around the store. I don't, buy more than what I need. I get my list. I go, I pull up, open up the back of the car. They throw it in. I say, thank you. I drive back home. I'm in and out in 15 minutes, rather than spending a lot of time there. And I think that's, is going to happen more. So I think it's going to be more. There are a lot more people who do. I mean, I have stuff that I've sold, on eBay that is not the lowest price, not the highest price, in the middle and stuff. But I do believe it's because, my first picture was a little more eye-catching. It's an actual real picture. It's not a stock photo, which I don't understand how people still get away with that on eBay. But I think that's one of the disadvantages that Amazon has is a lot of the used stuff. A lot of people don't add those pictures. They don't add that description. So there are times when you don't know the true condition of something
Right.
that you're getting on Amazon.
You're only, basically, understanding from a word perspective, and a word perspective from buyer or to seller could be way different.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we see that all the time on eBay. If anyone's ever bought something and it's like, oh, it's just slightly used or slightly box damaged, the next like it looks like a Wolverine had a brawl in the back alley with the box. I mean? So, yeah, I mean, everything can be construed however someone can look at it as positive or as negative as they want, but everyone sees it differently. I can understand.
Well, it's like you say, hey, it has a small scratch. Well, depending on what angle you look at it, you're right. It could have a small scratch.
It might have
but if you go ahead and you turn it just slightly the other way, that scratch is a gash.
Right. Yeah. It'd be like, well, it's only just a hairline scratch or whatever. Like, why? I mean, like, why? But how deep did it go? Did it go 6 foot through or what? What are we talking about here? So yeah, I mean, for sure, like the description and stuff with conditioning, it's always going to be, you're going to get a kind of a better look for the most part on eBay, unless, like you said, the Amazon person or seller, put up the the picture of it, which if you do have items like that, definitely do that. But yeah, the grocery pickup is a good idea. I don't know if I'll be able to have the same savage guy to bring it out like Grimes did in his video. He opened the door like he was a boss. I don't know if anybody's seen that, but
yeah, that was awesome.
As he said it, he typed it. He goes, "Look at this guy walking out," and he had it in his video. His editing is like the most like savage boss or whatever, like coming out of picking orders or whatever. So yeah, for sure. But like with that Easy Pro too, like doing the discs, like with condition, you could charge a premium. You could charge an extra couple bucks per game just because yours is squeaky clean. I mean, we get stuff from people from auctions and stuff, like YouTube auctions and stuff like that. Some people, they just, whatever it is, they're selling it whatever condition it is. Some people, they look at it like I look at all my discs to make sure that they're good before I sell them. If I miss it, please tell me, anyone. But as far as I understand, I'm pretty on the money with that. And
I don't even hardly pick up scratch discs anymore.
Yeah, like
I had the repurposer, I would though.
I actually damaged one opening it up yesterday, so I had to replace it for $100. I gave him another. I gave him a Wii U sports title instead of an Xbox 360 title.
That's a little bit more valuable anyway.
Merch for Phil.
There we go.
You heard it here first.
Beautiful. I've actually got all of my orders already packed and like up at the door already for the day.
Yeah, I have.
Body's like trained to like wake up for the contractor, even though yesterday was his last day. We just have to put the entire house back together now, which is going to suck because we have like full rooms of furniture in wrong rooms and stuff. So that's the whole reason I'm not in my new chair yet, is because it's like buried behind like couches and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, it's going to be a mess.
Definitely. But yeah, I mean, just
thank you, Myra.
Everything that you guys buy, like the disc cleaners and stuff like that, use that to your advantage. If you can do it and you have the money to do it, your business has grown where you can buy some of these nice toys, or, if we get another stimulus and you can afford to do it, drop some money into it, because that's going to make you money. That's one of the things where if you buy it, you'll make money from just buying it and using it. You know what I mean? You'll make a premium, you'll make good money and everything like that. So, sometimes you got to spend a little bit of money to make a little bit more money, or to help, grow your business. And that's one of the cases where, maybe me and Anthony, like I said, we might have to go halves on something, because we do meet up like at least once a month. And the only reason why I'd say it like that is because of the last, the pandemic. We've only met a couple times. So, I mean, we could drop off discs to each other and go back and forth with it or whatever and figure it out. So,
well, I think especially, in the beginning, not just a disc resurfacer, Nate, from that standpoint, but in my opinion, and Sonny says it, right there, invest in yourself. And I think that's something that, when you're starting out in your beginning, as you start making the profit and everything, you should be taking, in my opinion, you take most of that, you're putting that more into inventory. I mean, unless you need it to live, obviously it's a different story, right? But if you're doing this and especially let's say on the side to start off with, because you have a regular job and so on and so forth, but take part of that profit and also just put it on the side, and then get the thermal printer, get the surface, the resurfacer, buy stuff to make your business more efficient so that it becomes better in the long run, rather than just saying, okay, you know what, cool, I just sold this, now we can go out to dinner the next 3 nights. Reinvest back into your business with all the little things you don't think of, that you wish you would have. Save that money, and then it'll pay off in the long run.
Definitely.
I've heard a lot of people get the what is it, the JFJ?
Yeah, that's the one I've heard the most as well.
Yeah,
JF something, JF. I don't know.
JFJ Easy, bro.
Yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah,
that's the one that's the only one I've ever actually used.
Yeah, Dapper Tiger said he uses one called Pro Care Disc Repair. It's $40. That's a little bit even.
That's considerably cheaper.
Wow.
But there's different ones. I mean, I know with the JF whatever, I can't remember what it's called. We just said it. But you could basically like put it in there, hit a button, walk away, and do whatever else you got to do. I mean, you could be sitting here watching YouTube or sourcing online and just doing this the whole time. Just boop, 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 and just
you're packing your merch, fulfilled orders.
Yeah. But we got a couple of minutes before Grimes' premiere, so we're gonna cut it off here, guys. I'm gonna let and just so you guys know, Goomba's information is down in the description. Please give it a click, give him a sub. He's a great guy, full of information. Great guy in our community, so we always want to support everyone that we can. And anything you would like to announce, or any updates like you have? I know you guys have a show you guys do, you and a couple other people.
Yeah, Wednesday nights, rotating show with John Nevermore Antiques and Oscar El Cubanazo. We do that reselling show, trying to, give information, make it a worthwhile, time to actually, come away with something to give you something to think about once the go ahead and broadcast ends and stuff. So it's fun. We've had some good guests on. We're trying to go ahead and, keep streamlining it, make it better, and try and, really bring more information and think of a different type of a topic each week that you normally, might not hear about and stuff. So this coming Wednesday, it'll be on John Nevermore Antiques channel.
Awesome.
So
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Definitely check that out. I'm glad you guys are doing a show together. I like seeing different things form, you know what I mean, different perspectives and stuff like that, you know what I mean. I enjoy the lives, you know what I mean. I can have it on and I'm working, got my wireless headphones on, or today I got this one because I guess my other one didn't charge, but I'm able to do multitask really easy down here and do that. So I appreciate it, because I just want to be able to try and pick up a little bit of extra something every time I can, because it's only going to help me in the long run in business. So, but Anthony, you got anything you want to add before we shut her down?
We'll be back for the show on Monday on my channel. And also I should have a vlog being released at some point this afternoon. So be on the lookout for that. This evening, 7:30 Eastern, me and Nate will be on with Buffalo Picker. So if you guys would go over to his channel and show him some support, we'd really appreciate that.
Definitely. Cool. Yeah, his interview yesterday was like part 1, and then we're gonna add Glass City Picker to the mix, and we're gonna wear a bunch of Steeler gear, and we're gonna have a good old time on his
part 2 on the other channel. That's great. That's the way to do it.
Real quick, guys, head here right now, because we're all jumping over to Grimes Fine's channel, and we're gonna watch his premiere. So I'd appreciate you guys showing Justin some love.
Yeah, for sure.
A great person.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. And to all the auction winners, all your packages are going out, and we pride on trying to get things shipped out pretty quick. So thank you all again. $10. Like I said, sorry about that one disc getting scratched, but like I said, I upgraded you basically, in my opinion. So I apologize, but that will definitely be a better buy for you. And it's going out today, FedEx. So all right, everyone, have a fantastic day. And don't forget, make that